I'm going to work through some trigonometry examples here, Level 2 NCEA, and these are going to work on the process, the thinking behind how you solve, not the actual use of the rules. You go through and practice those first so that you're comfortable with them, and then this helps with 2 and 3 step problems. And this is the process. We look at our triangle. Can we find a known side against a known angle? If we can, we use the sine rule. Otherwise, we have to use the cos rule. And often that's going to make more than one step in the process because we can't always get to where we need to get in one go. If we get stuck, angle trigonometry sometimes helps. So, here's an example. We're asked to find angle X. We have 3 pieces of information. We know we can do it. Just a matter of how. So we look and we have a side angle pair. That means we're going to use the sine rule. There's no choice in the matter, but which version of it? Well, we can't find the side opposite x because we need a value there. So we have no choice but to find the third right-hand angle. That's the one for which we've got a value opposite, 17, so we have to find that angle. Label them. The angle that we're trying to find is A, and we stick it in the sine rule, and we get told that angle A is 69.74. Now we use geometry. 3 angles in a triangle add up to 180, and we see that x is 48.26 degrees. Do another one. We're asked to find the value of k. We have 3 pieces of information. We know we can do it. The question is how. This time we don't have a side angle pair of values, so we can't use the sine rule. So we've got a cosine rule. The question is which version of it, and we want an angle, so let's see the rule that uses the angle, cosine of A. But unfortunately that requires sides A, B and C, and we only have 2 of the sides, so we can't use that rule. Instead we have to use the last remaining one, and this needs 2 sides and the angle A. Well, the only angle we have is 73, that has to be A. The other 2 sides, luckily for us, are B and C, so we can solve. We're going to have to calculate the side small a opposite the 73 degrees. Label them, stick the values in, and we find side A is 35.03. Now, we're going to have to try and find the angle, but we have an extra piece of information. Now note at this point we have to relabel our triangle A, B and C differently. You can't use the same system. You have to label it clean each time you use a new rule. But we do have a side angle pair now, so we can use sine rule. And that allows us, because we have the 17, to find k. Label them. What we're trying to find is A. Stick in the sine rule, and we get our angle is 27.65 degrees. Final example. We're asked to find the area of this triangle. Well, the area of a triangle, half BC sine A, that needs an angle, and we don't have an angle. So we're going to have to do an intermediate step to get an angle first. We do have 3 pieces of information. We know it can be done. It's just a matter of how. We can't use the sine rule. We've got no angles to work from, and they always need a sine rule. We always need an angle, so we're going to have to use the cosine rule. That would help us to find an angle. What do we need? We need 3 sides, B, C and A. Well, we have 3 sides, so we can do it. We're going to label them, and we're just going to do it at random. It doesn't matter which one you pick. We've picked this angle to be found, which means this side is A, the other 2 are B or C, doesn't matter which. And we stick our values in, and we get at that our angle is 58.7 degrees. Having done that, we now wipe off the label and we can find the area because we have an angle, sine A, and two sides B and C, and we can stick the values in now. We get the area of our triangle, 24.76 units squared. So that's it. Each time, can we use the sine rule with a side angle pair? If we can't, we use the cosine rule. We always have one possible answer. We can only find whichever side or angle that rule lets us to find, and then we can make further progress from that point forward. Don't forget about geometry, especially the third angle adding up to 180 degrees.